kids. Well, welcome to our lesson in reading. Today, we are going to have the culture of Egypt. You have to prepare your reading books and let's start. Hey, but I know that before we start our lesson, we always do prayer. Gather your hands and pray. God, thank you for giving us blessings endlessly and for loving us unconditionally. To protect us from harm and give us strength to continue to worship you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay. Again, welcome to my class. Today, you are going to have the culture of Egypt. However, we will learn or we are going to listen to our story. Okay? While you are taking a look or taking your reading books, please open it on page 20 and listen to
Unit 6. The Culture of Egypt. The ancient Egyptians worshipped many gods. They often had both human and animal appearances. The most important god was Ra, the sun god. He had a ram's head. The pharaoh was believed to be a child of Ra. Horus, another god of the sun, had the head of a falcon. Anubis, the god of the dead, had the head of a jackal. Set, or Seth, was the god of chaos. Osiris ruled the underworld. Isis, the sister and wife of Osiris and the mother of Horus, was the goddess of fertility. She also protected people from sickness and harm. The pharaohs were both wealthy and powerful. Menes became the first pharaoh of Egypt when he united two kingdoms. Ramses II was the greatest and most powerful pharaoh of all. He conquered many lands. Egypt was the most prosperous during the reign of Amenhotep III. The ancient Egyptians believed they would have new lives after they died. So the culture of Egypt centered on life after death. They developed a way to preserve the dead and could make a body a mummy. Also, Egyptian tombs contained everything a person would need in the next life.
Hey, so in this lesson, Culture of Egypt, we are going to learn about what was the life of Egyptians before. So are you ready for our lesson for today? Please remember that I want to ready your highlighter and your reading book. For our story, it talks about the Egyptian or the ancient Egyptian that they worshipped many gods. And they often had both human and animal appearances. However, the most important god of the ancient Egypt was Ra. Again, his name is Ra. Well, Ra is the sun god and he had a ram's head. The Pharaoh was believed to be a child of Ra. And once we say Pharaoh, well, you had studied this in our previous lesson about the Nile River. Well, Pharaoh is a god, king of ancient Egypt. Again, Pharaoh is a god, king of Egypt. And talks a lot of other gods. Another god aside of Ra is Horus. Well, for Horus, he is another god of the sun. And he had the head of falcon. Anubis, and Anubis, the god of the dead. Okay? Again, Anubis is another god side of Ra and Horus, and he is god of dead. He had the head of a jackal. And Seth, or should we say Seth, was the god of chaos. Chaos, it is not in good terms, but bad things are happen. And another god is Osiris. Well, Osiris ruled the underworld. And we have another god, which is Isis. And Isis is the girl, and she is the sister and wife of Osiris. And also, she is the mother of Horus. And you know that Isis was known as the goddess of fertility. She also protected people from harm. Well, for chaos again, I told you a while ago, it's not but chaos order. Another is the fertility means able to produce offerings or offspring, or should we say baby. So these are the samples of pictures of Horus, which is a head or had a head of falcon, and Anubis, which has the head of jackal. Seth had the head or the god of chaos, and Osiris, well, he is or the ruler of the underworld. This one is or Isis, sister, wife of Osiris. At the same time, she's the mother of Horus. Okay? Next, in our story, it also talks about those pharaohs or god of Egypt before. The pharaohs were both wealthy and powerful. Wealthy, they had lots of gold or money. And the first pharaoh of Egypt is Menes. Menes became the first pharaoh of Egypt when he united two kingdoms. Next pharaoh was Ramses II. Well, Ramses II is known or was known as the greatest and most powerful pharaoh of all. And he conquered many lands. At the same time, in Egypt, another one or another pharaoh is Amenhotep III. Well, for Amenhotep III, he made Egypt the most prosperous during his. When we say conquered, it means to took over the lands. Another is prosperous. Well, prosperous means wealthy. And when we say reign, means rule by king or. And this is an example of a pharaoh. And this is the Ramses II. That was and be on a. Another is third. Next, in the ancient Egyptians, they would believe that they would have new lives after they died. Why? Because that is their culture. Okay? So the culture of Egypt was centered on the life after death. They developed a way to preserve the dead or the body's dead and could make a body as a mummy. Also, Egyptian tombs contained everything a person would need in life. Example, will have a preserve means to keep something from being harmed or destroyed. Okay? And tomb, it is a large vault where you put a corpse or a dead body. This is an example of a mummy. Well, this actually the Ramses a tomb in the pyramid. Let's have a review time. Okay? Since we have finished our story, and here you are going to answer a question or some questions, and you have two choices. Let's see. Let's start for the number one. Who was the god who ruled the underworld? The letter A, Ra, or letter B, Osiris? Second, if your answer is letter B, Osiris, you got the correct answer. Very good. Next question is, Who was the most important god and known as the sun god? Is it letter A, Ra, or letter B, Horus? Guys, if your answer is letter A, well, you got the correct answer. It's Ra. He is the important god. And next question. Who is the sister and wife of Osiris? At the same time, she was the mother of Horus, and which was the goddess of fertility. The letter A, Isis, or letter B, Set? Okay, the answer is letter A, Isis. Okay, next question. Number 4. What word does mean to keep something from being harmed or destroyed? Is it letter A, stay, or letter B, preserve? The answer is letter B. Okay, very good, preserve. And lastly, what is the meaning of prosperous? What is the meaning of prosperous? Is it letter A, healthy, or letter B, healthy? There is letter A, wealthy. Very good. Okay? And now, if you have some questions about our lesson, you may leave a message in our Google Classroom. And for your activity, okay, please answer page 21 for your reading book and in your workbook, page 8. Don't forget to answer those activities. See you in our next lesson. Bye!